Welcome to our weekly discussion of all things current California politics. I'm Walt Gray, joined this week again by Rich Eisen, who is the editor-in-chief of Capital Weekly publication. Rich, good to have you back. The potential loss of $450 million by Sacramento for bucking the president's agenda, federal dollars not coming in. Where does this put the region?
Well, it's a tough one because, and this is over the sanctuary city designations. You know, of course, the Trump administration is vehemently opposed to those. And there's a ton of different grants that are, federal dollars that come to law enforcement and other, education programs and a variety of things that cities and counties do for, their populace. So it's going to be tough. All this stuff is still to be worked out. But as it looks right now, the city could be losing up to $450 million. Federal money.
What's your take on this week with the Democrats stripping Republicans of some committee seats? You and I talked about this. It's not atypical that this could happen. So what brings this to the forefront?
Well, it's absolutely not atypical. I mean, it's been around forever. If you cross leadership, you're going to get punished in some way. That is how the legislature works here and in every other state I've ever covered, lawmakers. This one is a little touchy, though. I mean, I've had conversations with some, fairly well-placed Democrats in the last few days, and I think there's some concern here because, look, the main people on the Republican side who got removed are bomb throwers. They're folks who like to make videos and go on social media, and so they would have been doing this anyway. I think there's some concern that now this gives them almost some legitimacy when they go back to their districts and say, look, we're being treated unfairly. So, maybe Dems were in a little bit of a damned if you do and damned if you don't situation there.
And you meant bomb throwers verbally, not necessarily physically. So, okay, just want to clarify that here.
Yes, please do.
Yes, okay, so the governor has called on state employees to come back into the office 4 days a week starting the 1st of July. Obviously, the unions are not happy about that. We had a quote from Annika Walls with SEIU Local 1000 is concerned about the cost of gas for people coming back in, people who have tailored their life to working from home. What is your take on that?
Well, I understand that. And certainly, as someone who has not worked in an office on a full-time basis for a long time, I absolutely understand it. That said, I think there's a lot of rejoicing around, for a lot of the small businesses in the downtown corridors looking to get their employees back. So that's one thing. She's not wrong that it's going to be a hardship on people who have tailored their lives maybe around working from home. But, the governor has made this call. We're going to see what happens. I think one of the things that get lost, though, is I think there is a belief that maybe there's less productivity when you work at home. And I haven't seen that. I don't know that that's true. I don't think this issue is settled, by the way. I think they're going to fight this one tooth and nail for a while.
I'm not sure if there's any legal fights left, and I think that's why this is kind of the final, but you could be right. There's always an appeal for the appeal.
Well, I'm pointing to things like the possibility of Legionnaire's disease and things like that. I mean, maybe that's not completely wrong, but that is not an argument that's going to sell with the people.
That was one of Ms. Wall's concerns, that a lot of the buildings might have Legionnaire's disease.
The bigger thing is going to be, honestly, buildings that have changed.
Yeah.
Like if they've downsized the building, where are they going to put people? That's going to be the actual bigger problem.
That is true. Okay, thank you, Rich Eisen. We do appreciate you stopping by. If you'd like to reach out to Rich, you can do so. Rich.eisen@capitalweekly.net.